2.
What's up, y'all? We back, episode 9. The New York Giants 2025-2026 season roster is complete. Plus, we have the practice squad, and the Dallas Cowboys have traded micahparsons. I don't know, it feels like Christmas, you know? I feel like opening presents and eating cookies and throwing snowballs at people, you know what I mean? Let's get it. For the quarterback section, I was 3 for 3. For the running back section, I was 3 for 4. So they did end up cutting Dante Miller. He did not make the initial 53-man roster. It's all right. It's all right. So the receiver tight end crew, this is probably where I lost a lot of my numbers here. Look, my percentage dropped. Lil Jordan Humphrey did not make the initial 53, but he did make the practice squad later on. I was happy to see that. We'll talk about that later. Montreal Washington is still not signed, from what I understand. Greg Dulcich is now a Miami Dolphin. Congratulations to him. But we go with Bo Collins, Jalen Hyatt, Malik Neighbors, Gunnar Olszewski's number 0. He was doing a great job this preseason. I'm very, very happy for him. I love what he also brings in the special teams game as a returner. So definitely like that pickup. Wan'Dale Robinson, Darius Slayton. Tight end, Daniel Bellinger, Thomas Fedoni, Theo Johnson, and Chris Manhurst. So I love the actual tight end group. All 4 played really, really well this preseason. So I'm looking forward to see what they can do as an actual group. Offensive line. I was 9 out of 10 in this section, so I'm very, very proud of that. Shout out to all the O-linemen in the world. You guys are a special group. Jermaine Illuminor, James Hudson III, Marcus Bowe, Evan Neal, John Runyon Jr., Austin Schlottman actually makes the roster as a backup center. JMS, Aaron Stinney, Andrew Thomas, I hope he's 100% healthy, and Greg Van Roten. On the D-line, the biggest surprise here was Elijah Chapman did not make the initial 53-man roster. I'm a fan of the young man. I'm a fan of Elijah Chapman. I like his pass rushing game. The run game, where we run into issues at times, he just gets caught up in the wash far too often and can't fight off the blockers. It just gives us that 2 + 3 + 4 yards on a run play, and we just can't have that. So, but glad to see that he's still with us. We went with Darius Alexander, DJ Davidson, who is a better dual inside lineman than Chapman is at this point right now. Chauncey Golston, Dexter Lawrence II, Nacho, and then Roy Robinson Harris, who had a great preseason, makes the roster for the interior linemen. Linebackers. So for the linebacker segment, I was 1 off here. Chauncey Golston actually makes it as a D lineman, but we went with Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, and Kayvon on the inside. Chris Board stays. Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles, I think, is going to be a great special teams player for us. Michael McFadden, Darius Marasso, who I mentioned in my previous video, and of course Bobby O. Secondary, they went a little bit more actually at corner here. They went 7 deep on corner versus my 6. So Paulson Adebo, Deontay Banks, Corey Black makes the squad. Cardell Flott, Art Green, Nick Jones, glad to see they kept him, and Drew Phillips. So the safeties, of course, I think this 3 wasn't going anywhere. Dane Belton, Javon Holland, and Tyler Newman, just because they're all kind of interchangeable. They could play the back end or they could play in the box. Special teams, Graham Gano is our place kicker, Jamie Gillian, and Casey Crider. So one interesting thing to mention is that the entire 2025 NFL rookie draft class made the 53. This is definitely enticing because that means we're young. These guys can learn. We have depth, but we also have a lot of talent. So the practice squad additions, Elijah Chapman, Trace Ford, that they kept from Oklahoma, number 46, had a great preseason. I'm glad they kept him. Tomon Fox is back. Elijah Garcia stays. Brian Hudson. Lil Jordan Humphrey stays. Great job. Jay Kubas, Raheem Lane, Jude Mekatami. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Dante Miller stays, Jordan Riley, Emir Smith, and D. Williams. D. Williams, first person out at every single practice in this training camp. I like that they kept an extra kicker just in case on the practice squad. We ran into some issues last year, if everybody remembers, right, with Graham Gano and Greg Joseph, so we had some issues there. But our practice squad, we did pick up 2 additional players. We did pick up Bo Braid, the safety from the Baltimore Ravens. He's a first-year player out of Maryland. This kid is a tackling machine, okay? He loves the contact. He's in the box. He's on special teams. He probably will be that type of role player for us coming in. I don't see him doing too much in coverage unless an injury occurs, which I hopefully do not happen. Hopefully that does not happen. And then Rico Payton comes over from the New Orleans Saints. He's also a first-year rookie coming out of college. So this is our 2025-26 New York Giants roster. This talent has definitely increased. If you look around the league, if you're looking around right now, especially after the trade in Dallas, this division has really opened up a little bit. Washington's going to do, as far as the Commanders come back for their second year with Jaden Daniels. We all know what Philly's going to do 100% healthy. So this is going to be interesting going into the season. Every season is different. Every week is different. This definitely makes the NFC North definitely more interesting now that Micah Parsons is in the Green Bay uniform. You got Green Bay, you got Minnesota, you got Detroit, and now you got Chicago looking with a young Caleb Williams looking the way he's looking in the preseason. It's going to make things very, very interesting this year. So a lot of competitive teams, a lot of young teams coming up in the ranks. So things may change in 2025. The Dallas Cowboys have traded Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers for 2 first-round picks.
Kenny Clark also comes over in the trade. Kenny Clark is a 3-time Pro Bowler with the Green Bay Packers. He's definitely a good, solid player for this team in the addition for the Dallas Cowboys. However, with this trade, I don't know where they're going with this. To be honest with you, this seems like a rebuild reach. I think Dak is in danger next year. If you look at the mock-up of the cap, this is definitely a win for the NFLPA. He gets 133 guaranteed. So Micah Parsons wins. He gets his bag. He gets a new team. He gets a 4-year extension. And the NFC North is now a battle zone.
Episode 9. All right, we'll come back and we'll talk more about the schedule going into the season. I'll give my predictions. And if you're in Brooklyn, Pond Parkway, wave your flag. Wave your flag. Peace.